Alright, hello everybody. So this is kind of an impromptu video on how to clean your feathers. So I have here some white vinegar. So I believe this is pickling liquor. I believe this is pickling vinegar with a 5% acidity, although you might want to double check because I know there's two different types of acidities for like pickling and jarring and just regular vinegar. I don't know. Now I'm not sure if this is right or not, but it should work for our intent and purposes. Because normally you'll find most people will say to use isopropyl alcohol and then water. So I'm going to use the vinegar and water, and I have rosemary oil. My teacher had told me that's how she cleans her stuff, only she uses thyme oil. I couldn't find thyme oil, but I have rosemary oil, and I looked it up. And rosemary is also an antibacterial. It should work on mites, I think on fungus. So it's a good substitute if you can't find thyme oil. So we're going to give this a try because I don't know what I'm doing, per the usual. Why not do everything on a wing and a prayer? That's my life. All right, so I know these containers are way too small for this. I appreciate that. They were what I had on hand at the time when I was gonna do this. I apologize for those of you that get motion sick. So, can you see how much is in there? Kind of. So I've got maybe a quarter of the bottom. Let's put some water in. That's about maybe, I don't know, that's maybe a quarter of the way full for the container. You know what? I'm going to err on the side of caution and add just a wee bit more vinegar. Yeah, that's good. And I'm going to add, let's find out. We're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drops of oil. Okay. And what we're gonna do now, I know most people say freeze your feathers for like 24 hours and then do this, or no, freeze them, take them out, freeze them again. Most of these have been sitting in my living room for months, if not maybe the better part of a year or longer. I would say this mixture is pretty good. It smells like rosemary. And we're just gonna put these in, and I'm gonna let them sit for a little bit while we do this, because they are, oops, they are well and truly submerged. Thankfully they're all, I think these are all mostly dove feathers. This one might be maybe a really small crow feather. I have one that I picked up today, I found, that is a little dirty, so I'm going to put that in separately. So we're going to let that sit for a little while. Okay, so these have been sitting for maybe, I don't know, 4 or 5 minutes, give or take. So I'm going to put some dish soap into the other tub, and I'm going to pour some water in. And because we don't want them to smell like vinegar and rosemary. And we mix that up. All right, we're going to take these, I'm going to dump them, shake them off a little bit, and then we're going to rinse them in here. And I just kind of appreciated, I probably need a third container to rinse these. But maybe I'll just rinse them under running water. That way I can shape them a little bit. So I can get all the soap and stuff off too. But yeah, so these have been sitting like on my altar. They've been tied up in a bundle for like the last 6 months to a year. So whatever was on them is just, it's been on there for a while, you know, it's probably whatever. It is what it is. So I'm not terribly concerned. Maybe with the new one I found today, that one I should maybe toss in the freezer because it looked like it came from an attack, because there were feathers all over the field where I found that. But I'm gonna just wash it, I think. I had it wrapped in a napkin because I found it when I was at work. So, okay, we're gonna take these and I'm gonna just go in the kitchen and run them under some water. So I'm gonna leave you here and come back. So I rinsed them off. I smoothed them out a little bit. I needed both hands to do it, so. But they do still kind of smell like rosemary oil, but there's not much I can do about that. Now, we're gonna take our new one. It's a little dirty. And we're gonna stick that one. Oh, it's so funny that it just blends right into the newspaper. All right, let's see. All right, so this one's got some schmutz on it. It definitely does. So we wanna try and get that off. I apologize. So I'm just gonna let this one sit for a while as well, but I wanted you to see that. Okay, so I put the last feather into the water mixture and I've just been rinsing it off. I do know, I remember one of the other, because I looked this up on a couple different times, and someone used an old toothbrush to like gently clean the feathers, but I think we are good. This looks pretty clean. I'm gonna go rinse it under some water and I'm gonna lay it with the others to dry. So yeah, so this is pretty straightforward. I wish you the best of luck if you have any feathers that you want to clean to use to sterilize, and have a good one. Bye. All right, everybody, so just to wrap up with our feathers, these have been sitting for a few days to dry out and they are beautiful. So yeah, this one kind of got stuck in the kitchen sink and my mom found it. So just here's a little word of advice. Make sure you have 3 containers. I had 2. Obviously, make sure it will fit the feathers you're working with. So like all of these, I think this is actually a magpie feather. Not, because I saw a couple the other day. But make sure it will fit the feathers you're working with. So like if you're working with like a turkey feather or an owl feather, this is gonna be a little small. So make sure you have something that will accommodate it. Gauge your liquids properly, your water, your vinegar, if you use the isopropyl alcohol, which is really common. Gauge appropriately. I didn't measure, I just kind of eyeballed everything. So you want to make sure that you can properly kind of submerge and rinse your feathers so that they come out, you know, nice and clean and sterilized. If you use oil, you can definitely use thyme or rosemary oil, whatever you have available. If you're not sure, just double check and see if the oil has, you want antibacterial properties, antifungal, mite protection, or like it works on mites. So I think peppermint oil might be another one you might be able to use, at least as far as mites go. Double check it. And the last thing, I will put a link in the description for it. Just try to be aware of what feathers you have. So there is, I think, what is it, the Bird Act? I'll look it up. I know other YouTubers have talked about it, and it felt like it was worth mentioning. Essentially what it is you're not allowed to have feathers of certain birds if they are endangered. I think the one that would most often come to mind for people would be eagle feathers. You can only own those or have those if you belong to a Native American or indigenous tribe. They are the only ones allowed to have those. Otherwise, I think like seagull feathers might be, you can't have those. So just double check if you carry field guides with you. I know everybody's got their phone on them, but sometimes service or the apps don't load. Maybe it's not appropriate. Again, I'll have the link in the description for you to read through it, save it if you want, like and subscribe, or like the video so it's there, because Google's not a thing, so because it's not always available. I don't know. Just work with what you have, do the best you can, and be safe, and happy gathering, I guess, or happy crafting. So yeah. All right, till we meet again. Bye.